trip to New York.
Trip to New York. Okay. Do we need some pictures? Maybe.
Yeah, just make sure that the proper pictures and nothing that you don't want to.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. Let's see here. Okay. I know what we can do here. Oh no, that's the concert. Okay.
You
So
you gotta say
I
pause.
went.
Say nice wood, bro. Nice has nice wood, bro. Pause. Is that how I do it? Okay.
Who has nice wood?
I don't know. The comments. The only wood you're getting is when they bend you over the barrel. Wow. Okay. All right. There.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. These are the comments from our audience. So, all right.
Okay.
So this is the UST Projector Showdown, and it looks like I'm looking at some kind of signage.
Yeah, this is the sign. Yeah. So hosted by projectorscreen.com. And that was a crazy big one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's Brian and the crew from projectorscreen.com. And then here's Phil getting some stuff done. All of these are 100-inch 100-inch Fresnel screens.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what that means, but they had 8 projectors altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And varying price ranges. Let me see. I think it was like 2,000 all the way up to 6,000 was the most expensive one.
Yeah, I have the article up.
Okay.
Fresnel is just the type of screen where it rejects stuff that's not coming from directly in front of it. It kind of has like a circular pattern. So you remember those old projectors like in school where they would write on the thing?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you ever remember looking at the actual thing and it had like these weird like spiral looking things?
Yeah.
That's a Fresnel lens.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's for a light rejection most of the time.
Got it. So this is our little judging sheet. So we had SDR, HDR. Now what the funny part was, Phil was like, make sure you write in pencil because you're gonna erase some stuff. And you're gonna because like even though we have what is it here? It's color accuracy, skin tone, contrast, black level, shadow detail sharpness, 24p motion, overall scene brightness, daytime viewing. But you got when we get into actual scenes, it kind of like mixes. Some of the scenes are good for this, some of the scenes are good for that, and they kind of like overlap a little bit. Mm-hmm. So they also asked us to have like a overall best overall, and then like one for SDR, one for HDR. And the ones that did well in SDR didn't really do good in HDR, which is kind of like a thing. Another thing, or how about a theme? Another theme all throughout the day was that none of these projectors are going to do everything well. Is that right?
Well, I would say based on what I read from the article. So there's an article on their site kind of, laying out all the stuff that happened. So here, I'll bring that up real quick.
Okay.
So that's this here. And so
well, let me toss that into the chat here.
I got it here.
You got it? Okay.
So if you guys want to check it out later, you can. Boom. All right. So 2024 Projector Shootout. So Brian, Phil Jones, we've had him on a couple times. We should have him on again soon.
Yeah.
We haven't talked in a while. And then the judges, let's see here. I know this guy. Yeah. Andy
Milton,
Grill. Yeah. I know Cam also.
Yep, Cam.
And this guy, what? He's in outer space.
Ooh, I don't. Oh, you know what? I gave him like a picture that had like a no background. So I guess
in outer space, this guy.
They put me in outer space, yeah.
Hey, why did they make it look like you're in that is it Holi? Is that what it's called in India? When they throw out their Holi, where they throw. How can they put that as your background?
I don't know, man. They're all
Jeez,
racist.
okay.
Kidding. They're
I'm
not.
kidding.
They're not.
Chris Majestic,
Chris.
right? You guys
Yep.
have seen his reviews, projector reviews, and Chris Boylan.
Yep.
I guess he does editor at Acoustics and ISF train. Okay, blah blah blah. So these are the pictures that you kind of just showed here. Let me see what you guys.
Yeah. They're all essentially the same. I have more, but yes, essentially the same. Oh, they're looking at laser speckle in the red there.
Okay, speckle.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, cool. And what was interesting is the way that they kind of judge things, right?
Yeah.
Or the way they set it up, because normally they'd have somebody come and calibrate each one, using meters and like professionally calibrating each one. And that the idea was, what is the max capability of this projector, right? When somebody comes in and calibrates each one. This time, what they said was they invited judges or invited a representative from every company.
Yes.
To come and calibrate it, but just using like normal stuff that somebody would have. Spears and Munsell disc. What did they say? Something for white balance, like using a phone app, for white balance.
Yeah, they didn't
light meter, like stuff.
I think the whole point is that, for a $2,000, $3,000 projector, you're not going to spend $600 to have somebody come and calibrate it. Right. That's the whole point. So they didn't want to. Last year they did the full calibration on all of them.
Yeah.
Right. This year they wanted to do something a little bit different, which is also why, they had somebody like me, Mr. TV guy, come by and be like, I don't like projectors.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's good. And another thing they did is they gave them a 2-hour time limit on the calibration.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty short amount of time if you think about it. Like if you wanted to do it yourself, you're probably going to spend as much time as you need. And I look at it, I'm like, damn, I spent the whole night doing this.
Dude, like I would calibrate a TV. Sometimes it take like 4 hours. Sometimes it takes 6.
Yeah.
Like,
so
two
hours.
Maybe it'll take 2. Yeah.
2 hours is a very short amount of time to be able to do this. And they said that some manufacturers kind of just sent in numbers to enter.
Right.
And of course, the room environment and the type of screen affects these things. So it's probably best to be there to kind of do things. Except for Samsung in the review, I guess they said that it's nearby, but they, for some reason, just didn't participate as far as like sending a representative.
Right. They didn't do that. Correct.
So the decision was made by Phil Jones to just use the filmmaker mode. Because typically filmmaker means like, okay, these are the best settings, for a home user. A lot of times the problem with filmmaker mode though is kind of dim. They're not trying to make anything stand out. It's just kind of like this.
Which is why I like this one particular, because I'm like, look, another question was, if you had to get a projector for like your mom, which one would you get?
None.
Out of these 8.
The TV.
Yeah.
That's what you get for your mom.
And of course, there are, the whole point of you could probably buy a 100-inch TV for the same price as one of these USTs plus a screen. But the whole point is you can go up to 150-inch and you can't do that with the TV, right? That's, they were saying that. And then also viewing angles on a TV that large, cheap enough, it's not going to be good, right? It's not going to be like an OLED, which is going to be like 30,000 for a 98-inch. Right?
A lot of people talk about that. Like, why wouldn't you just get a huge TV? And in my situation, I've said it numerous times, I have a big window, and that's where the 100-inch projector, motorized projector, so it comes down over the windows, right, in our living room. Well, sometimes in the morning we don't want to cover the windows. We want the light to come in. You can't do that with a TV. Also, I would imagine the box for a 100-inch TV and transporting it starts getting pretty crazy. And you've stayed at my place, right? Those stairs, there's gonna be like an angle issue. You know what I mean?
You might have to like open up the side of the house, the wall, Slide that sucker in there. Like that's
might
not
not be
happening.
good because, like, even bringing in some of the projector screens, right? So they come in a package of all, it's kind of rolled up, right?
Yeah.
Getting that through the door is not, and up the stairs, I can imagine a TV. So that's just something to consider, right? So a TV is easier overall to use, but maybe to set up, to actually bring it in, it's all one piece, one big screen. It's not like you can fold it. When they can
No, I
fold it,
mean,
it's
yeah,
gonna
you
change
you
things,
need
right?
to have a big space for sure, right? I mean, the 83-inch OLED box was huge that I had up in Mammoth. So I can only imagine the box for 90. Actually, I don't need to imagine it because I went and helped
Okay.
Brandon be the
Yeah.
installer, install one, and it came in a crate.
Yeah,
It came in a crate.
that was no joke.
Yeah, like a crate and then a box inside the crate. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he and I were like moving it, and dude, it was rough, bro. It was,
Yeah.
and we had to take it out of the box to get it in the house. So
So
there you
there,
go.
just to say, right? TVs are easier once they're set up. They're they're superior in many ways, but when it comes to actual setup, it's actually not that hard. Like I've set up a motorized screen like pretty quickly. Two screws into the studs, and it can hold the screen. The motorized screen. That's it. Um, and then ultra short throw, you just place it there.
Yeah.
Nothing about. So anyway, out of all these, they had the Hisense PX3 Pro, Hisense PL2, four movie Cinema Edge. Let me bring this back up. Four movie Cinema Edge, four movie theater premium, Epson LS800, Nexigo Aurora Pro, XGIMI Aurora 2, Samsung Premiere 9 LPU9D. Okay. And then they had the SDR mode, HDR mode. So out of these, just overall, which one did you like?
I like the 4 movie theater premium.
That was your okay.
That was the one I liked the most in SDR. And HDR, things started to like fall apart.
Is it because you're a TV guy and you were looking at the black levels and this has the highest black, the best black levels?
This had the most punchiest, vibrant colors. So black levels kind of add to that. But
Okay.
I didn't specifically say, oh, this has the best black level. Although it did. When we had let's see here, which picture can I show here?
You know what's crazy though? I'm looking at sticking on that topic. It has the best black level shadow detail in SDR mode, but in HDR mode, it's not doing very well. Right? In HDR, the Hisense PX3 Pro had better black levels, which a lot of times what I'm finding with these projectors is like comes down to calibration, like it comes down to the settings that they use. So I'm kind of confused. Like, if you make a projector, right? Aren't you going to optimize each one of those? I don't know. Or are they optimizing for like the max lumen so that they can put on the spec sheet 3000 lumen?
That's the thing that you need to like. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I know that like no TV is perfect, but they're talking like you really, really like even if you spend like $5,000 on a TV, it's not gonna be perfect. But like they're like, oh, to get like really, really good projectors, you got to start minimum 5,000. So it's just like it's just so weird, to get something that has like here black
So,
levels. Where's the black levels? Here's a black level shot, right?
oh my goodness, hold on a second. Let's maximize that. Let's see, what can we do? Why are you always on vertical mode, bro? You're just like
Because it's
social
Instagram,
media.
bro.
Okay. All right.
So some of them like
Hold on. I'm seeing different red. So there's a red shift on the one on the left. This one looks the most neutral based on your camera, of course. So it's tough to tell because it's going to adjust. So that one looks the most neutral. The next one next to it looks pretty neutral, not very dark. This one looks kind of like maybe the darkest.
Yeah, that's that one that I liked.
Okay.
That's that 4 movie theater, whatever.
That one has a bluish green shift. The next one looks
This one
like
over here is the Nexigo.
okay.
So that wasn't as bad.
That one.
And then
These are
this one was the most expensive one, the Samsung.
yeah. Rough.
Yeah. So there is that. Let me show you. Do you want to do? Here's some like blue, that just like this. The stuff just like is the different color. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Okay. So one thing that people should know when we're looking at these side by sides, it's because we can look at them side by side. What ends up happening is, the first thing you'd probably want to calibrate on a projector is the white balance, right?
Yeah.
Because if you ever notice on your phone, you probably notice like a night mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or some kind of mode where at night it shifts to yellow, right?
Yeah.
To take out the blue light. And at first you're like, ugh, everything just looks yellow and orangey and not good, right? But what happens after a few minutes? That your eyes kind of reset to that level and whites look white to you, right? Yeah. And when it switches back, everything then looks blue. So
yeah, and what's odd is like that magenta, that red shift in that first projector isn't really there when you're looking at it. Mm-hmm. It's just it's just the way the camera takes the photo.
That right? So partially that I've noticed that some of the triple laser stuff, my camera cannot do it. Something about my camera is just like freaked out by it can't auto correct. Right? So yeah, partially that. But I guess what I'm saying is our eyes do get used to whatever
we're looking at, right? And you wouldn't notice most of these differences unless they weren't side by side. And that's what
Bose exposes here.
Oh. FOMO.
What's up, FOMO?
Well, do you guys want to know this is the PX3 here in the redshift right here. That's
what happens is I was trying to film some of the projectors because I just reviewed the Valerian, which I'll talk about in a bit, and I'm reviewing the AWOL LTV 3500 Pro. And when I was filming it with our Pocket 3, which is pretty good, it just could not film that.
Yeah,
it did not look good. I think I can show you a quick example here. But where is it? Valerian 2. So just in auto mode. Look at here. Present, share screen. Here's how it looks in Final Cut. It didn't look like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just can't. It can correct. So you're right. Sometimes the camera can't handle the triple.
And I mean they all knew it too. They're like, oh, just take a picture of that and check it out. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it might have something to do. Just a guess. Is a lot of these triple laser projectors, they have like really wide color gamuts, like almost like full Rec 2020. And sometimes I don't know what our phones are capable of. What the color space is on this. I know that the Sony can go, like our Sony cameras can go beyond that, but it has to be in their like S-Log 3. And if you just put it in standard mode, it's not going to be able to capture all the colors that the projector can produce, which is kind of weird. Okay.
So this is like a color. This is what La La Land. So they got the primary colors all up on screen. I believe this is HDR, right? So this is a great test for a color. And they're like walking down the street singing or something. I haven't watched the movie actually. So, but again, like there's that red shift, right? That the camera's picking up that you don't really see. This was the Hisense. This one was the Hisense PL2. This was the cheapest one, and it actually did pretty well in a lot of different
laser, right?
What's up?
That's a single laser. So is there kind of a pattern that you've noticed where the single laser ones look normal on camera and the triple laser ones could not be captured?
Well, this one here is a single laser 4 movie. Okay. And then this one here is the triple laser 4 movie that I liked.
Oh, okay, so that one doesn't have that shift though. All right.
It doesn't. It doesn't. So that's something just with the like Hisense. This is the LS800. That was this one here is the next to go, and then I forget what the hell this one was. This is the what
There's
was
next
it?
to go, there is Epson LS800.
No. This is the X Jimmy. This one here is X Jimmy, and then this one on the right is the Samsung, and you can kind of tell the Samsung has that little bit of a red shift here.
Yeah.
Compared, right? When you just look at the road.
Yeah, I was having that exact issue when I was reviewing the Hisense L9G, which FOMO let me borrow his Blu-ray player for because it needed some tone mapping help. So I kept telling him, like, why does this look so like weird? Anyway,
once calibrated, PX3 is spot on, and sadly, projectors more likely need to be calibrated due to screen differences. So, FOMO, would you say if you were to get a UST or any kind of projector, regular long throw projector, would you get that calibrated more than it's more necessary to get that calibrated as opposed to a TV? What do you think, FOMO?
I think FOMO probably gets everything calibrated, knowing this guy. Because I got that Vizio off of me. He got that one calibrated. Like, who calibrates a Vizio OLED? I'm kidding.
Look at this. Is it in different mode? We all know that's accurate. Thanks, Gruff. Michael, they only chose like minimal settings because they assumed that's what the average person was going to do. So these weren't fully calibrated. They did not have the AWOL.
They also don't sell the AWOL. So to keep it clear, this is put on by projectorscreen.com, and this is a website that sells projectors
and screens
and
apparently everything else, AV receivers, speakers, whatever you want.
So I'm not saying oh they're biased. I'm just saying, speaking for myself, if I was gonna do a shootout, part of it, I'm sure it takes a lot of effort, is to promote some of the products that they have, right? And if they don't sell this product, I guess they could include it, right?
Yeah.
But
you know,
it's not independent. It's not independent. Like, this is a store that puts this together, and I still think it's useful. You know, if it was just some random guy doing it, that would be cool too. But he says so. FOMO says he'll be reviewing the PX3 next month. Yeah, man. Maybe you can come check out the AWOL 35 LTV 3500 Pro that I have. Do some comparisons or something.
This is from the Spears and Munsell disc. We started this off at 1,000 nits, went to 4,000 nits, and then 10,000 nits to see how each projector would handle it.
The tone mapping?
Yeah, the tone mapping for the HDR, yeah.
That one's
like some of them, like the Samsung, look at this horse is black. like it's supposed to be brown, right? Like there.
At 10,000 nits, if it doesn't have tone mapping, it's going to look pretty obvious.
Some of them were just like, it was just white. And you just see like four horses or 3 horses. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Marv, the lasers were using DLP chips. Yes.
Make sure to check out our audio-only version of the podcast at anchor.fm/Daily HiFi, or just go to your favorite podcasting service and search for Daily HiFi.